So I just got off work and I was talking to someone about gravel bikes, but it turned out in talking to them more, they were looking more for like an ultra distance endurance bike that really might border more on a bike packing bike than a traditional gravel bike. And this is where this topic is so interesting, because it just depends, in my opinion, it depends what perspective you're coming from. So if you're coming from the kind of road perspective, you're going to be happiest on something that's a drop bar bike. And these days the options are all over the place. You can get something that takes up to like 45s, maybe just 40s, and that's a heck of a lot better than so many of the bikes that we had not very long ago. I mean, cyclocross bikes used to clear up to like 32s. That was UCI rules. And so that's what manufacturers built for. These days, 45 is common. 47, 50, 55 is not super uncommon. And with disc brakes, you can switch your wheel size. So you can go to 650B, and oftentimes a lot of bikes that clear like a 45 with a 700 will clear a 2.1, like a 54 with a 650B. So you got lots of options. But there are also really good lightweight tire options for cross-country mountain bikes, and those make great bike packing tires. Something in the 29 by 2.2 range. That's not a range, but something around there, and that can be a great ultra distance bike too, in my opinion. Then you see these blending things with super wide drop bars. You got Jones bars, which are my personal pick for a bike packing bike, and in many cases a distance bike. But I haven't built that bike around Jones bars that's really lightweight. So if I'm going for I'm going to go out and do a double century on mixed terrain or something, I'm probably going to end up riding a bike with drop bars, and I'm going to try to get it light. It's probably going to have 45s to 50s, and I'm just going to try to keep it minimal. I'm going to try to keep it light. If you're looking for the one bike to do it all, personally, I think Jones bars are probably the best option, but it really, again, it depends which perspective you're coming from. Are you coming from more of a mountain bike side, or are you coming from more of a drop bar side? If you don't have something like a pre-existing thing you like, then things are a lot more open. It's kind of harder. I still think if you're interested in going the distance, if you're interested in kind of a more competitive feel, I think you're going to be happiest on a drop bar gravel bike to start, because I think you're more likely to be riding with people who are on drop bar gravel bikes, and it just feels better to be riding what your peers are riding, because we're social animals. I mean, we want to think otherwise, but most of us, that's true. And it's always going to be a fun bike. It's fun to have a bike that feels like it's a little bit underbiked, and that bike is going to a drop bar gravel bike is going to tend more toward that feel. Then if you decide you want to do the Divide or something, you want something that's racy, fast, but has better off-road capabilities, then you could go with something like a lightweight hardtail, and that'd be awesome. But I think it's easiest now to get a high-value gravel bike that can take maybe 45s, 47s, and that's going to be a super fun bike. So that's probably my pick for a starting endurance, multi-terrain, multidisciplinary bike. What do you think?